Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum, a Children of Midnight actual play. We're going to test the microphones and make sure everything is working by having everyone introduce themselves and their characters. Oh, and thanks to all the new followers that have been popping in here in the last few minutes. Sorry we're running just a few seconds late, but we had to make sure we were perfect for all of you. Let's start.
Perfection is important.
Let's start by having Morningstar describe yourself. For the listeners at home, describe yourself and your character. Please use excruciating detail for yourself.
I think I'd be here all day. I'd probably get stuck looking in the mirror, and then you wouldn't hear from me for the rest of the evening. So I'll focus on describing my character, Elise. She is a Medean psyche who is the very embodiment of fashion in the cruelest possible sense. And she's certainly willing to do everything she has to get what she wants.
Awesome. Megan?
I play Seth, a Nereid shapeshifter, so they're a fish person. They use shapeshifting in order to solve problems as well as to navigate, because obviously looking like a fish is very conspicuous. And
It's a bit fishy.
bit fishy.
It's been working out great for you.
Some extra powers. Yeah, it's been working out pretty good so far. Seth upgraded some powers last time, and they're looking forward to potentially using them.
Nice.
Bob's River.
Let's pop down to Josie.
Hi, I'm Josie. I use it and she pronouns, and I'm playing Setima, a Hydra animist. That's the name of the playbook, who I've described as a dragging kleptomaniac lesbian aunt.
Awesome. Can't wait to meet her. And Andrea?
Yeah, I'm Andrea. I'm playing Hollis. She is a gob baba, and she is obsessed with death and dying and everything in between.
Awesome. And Azalwyn?
I'm Azalwyn, and I'm playing a fun, creative Arcanist Satyr who is reckless and unstable and definitely makes that known and just wants their friends to do the best that they can.
Yeah, we are a bundle of trauma in this coven, and yeah, we will see it come to the forefront. Elise, who you would think was the biggest bundle of trauma of them all, has still never sustained trauma.
She's the one giving out the trauma.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Awesome. And yes, Josie is in the blur zone. She's using the most powerful magic of us all for her background.
Really just to disguise that I don't have a lot of witchiness going on.
Yep.
Instead, it's an unmade bed.
If you made the bed with magic.
Oh, then I suppose it would count.
Seal location.
Yeah. Awesome. So I am going to quickly have Megan and Andrea roll a fortune die each. The reason Andrea is going to be rolling a fortune die is because her Baba powers allow her to know when things are going on in her domain, and Seth is going to make a fortune roll because she has made a artifact, and she might notice things going on when something weird is happening with said artifact. So, and we're going to test the dice pot as well at the same time. So, and these are going to give me an idea of what it is you know going into this. The Baba does not know much.
That's crazy.
Helps if I'm in the correct channel. Sorry. Every friggin' time. Yep.
Awesome. Woo! That one flew.
Ooh.
All right. So, Seth, you are drawn by some unknown power to the artifact that you have made and erected in the basement. It seems to be generating some unusual energy resonance that's unexpected, considering you all haven't activated it in weeks since your last major otherworldly excursion.
Portal
and-
screaming out, I need an update.
And it's a weird enough feeling that you bring the entire coven with you, if that makes sense to everyone. All right.
Elise brings martini.
What you see is that the portal, which is itself made of, if I remember right, 6 hagstones and a massive bundle of kelp, is trying to lift itself up off the ground under unknown power, because it has not been activated from within the Covenstead. And within seconds of you all arriving in the basement, you see the lump of kelp lift itself up to the extent of its own ability, and for Satima to come rolling out of the portal into your Covenstead. Can you describe what Satima looks like for them?
Yeah, so Satima comes tumbling out. She has long-ish brown hair, but there's some streaks of silver in it. She looks like she's almost 50, about. And she's kind of got a walking stick and a large viper wrapped around her neck like a scarf. And she's wearing probably just this tank top with the trans colors and a pentagram, but also cargo pants and an army surplus jacket with just all the pockets full to bursting. And she's got bracelets and rings on all her fingers, so whenever she sweeps her arm, she jingles. So I think she almost falls over when she comes tumbling out of the portal and calls back, I was just taking a look. Oh, hi?
Yeah, can you all describe yourselves physically to her as well?
Yeah, sure. Hollis is probably about 4 feet tall. She's got long, pointy ears. She's green, and she has white hair. And she's dressed generally like a mix between a hippie and a goth. Goth girl.
Excellent. Oh, I did forget to mention that she has slight claws and like slitted snake pupils. That's her hydraness.
Ooh,
Oh, wow. So yeah, she's got a lot of powerful heritage traits. That's goes over extremely well in the witch community and in Children of Midnight.
nice.
Awesome. Zelwyn?
Well, Yarrow stands at a little under 6 foot. She has beautiful long satyr horns that curl a little bit at the end, and especially since they've regrown a little curlier. And she loves her hooves, and she likes to tap them a little bit. She likes to make sure you know she's a satyr. And mainly she likes to dress in a lot of capes and dark clothes, and pretty much she wants to slink around the shadows as it is, unless something's really flashy or catchy. And she does have nice little silver tips on her horns right now that hold a little bit of essence for her, because she always needs too much.
Megan, Seth?
Well, Zeph stands roughly, probably around 5'10", and they look like the shape of water creature. Very fishy, very amphibian. Finned hands, fins up the arms, and they're basically dressed in an aesthetic that I go by flotsam and jetsam, so it's basically rags and garbage and things all tied to them, so it's just patches of clothing and things they found washed up and they've somehow mashed it together. Very stinky, very messy.
And Morningstar, Elise?
The very opposite of very stinky and very messy. Elise is tall and gaunt, with stunning red silk clothing simply clinging to her rather angular form. Long gowns that are probably a little bit too formal. She wears matching gloves of crimson and carries a cigarette holder, which was given to her by dear Yarrow. And she has brilliant copper hair that is kept up in a very neat and tidy bun out of her face, which is made up with rather dark eye and lip makeup.
All right. And as Satima rolls in, you see the portal behind her glitter and glow with a dark, shadowy presence and strange resonance that none of you have ever felt in this basement before. The portal is definitely pointing somewhere that you have never traveled. And you are probably immediately intrigued and suspicious. But it looks like Satima may be in trouble.
Did the portal close behind them, or is it still open?
It did not. It is still open. It's hard to see in through the shadows, but if any of you get closer or light it up, you may be able to see more or sense more.
Can I sense the resonance?
Safe.
Yeah, is that one of your grimoire abilities?
Yes.
Awesome.
Either item or place.
It is shadow energy. It is pointing to a realm that exists beside nature, a realm that humans, especially mundanes, but even most witches, can't usually touch or make much use of. Technology works very, very poorly there. Even mechanical things tend to break down there. And it is not a very well explored land. But the blue figure that you can make out in the extreme distance is a little daunting.
Blue?
It seems to be wreathed in blue flame.
It blew itself.
Yeah, we might want to close it unless we want to get eaten by a giant winged serpent demon thing.
Oh, our new friend brings fun friends with them.
Hollis has to sneak a peek.
I have been told.
When Hollis goes to the portal, you watch as the figure, through a very blurry and darkened distance, raises its hands, and you see what look like a small army of wolves form out of the dirt and dust at their feet.
Oh no. Hollis is going to be like, Steph, close the portal, close the portal!
Oh my god, okay. Zeph immediately wants to, shut this whole thing down. Do I just yank one of the hagstones, out of the thing, when you,
Pull the plug out.
The power button on a computer, just
Pull the plug on it. Yeah, that seems like it's worth a shot. Usually you've been activating these using lesser rituals, and you're just able to shut down your lesser ritual when you were finished. But it does not appear that this portal was opened in the way that you normally know how to shut it down. So taking some desperate action might not be a bad thing. Which actually reminds me, I need to I forgot to roll to see what position you all were in for this, and that might tell us something.
You always get anxious when the DM says, "Hold up a sec."
Hold up, let me see how risky this is. Yeah,
Wait,
we are currently in risky territory with the being outside.
Well, risky is perfectly good for Seth because they're reckless, so they're just gonna heave a hagstone out of that thing and see what happens.
Okay. What do you want to use for that? Are you
I guess maybe
brawl to just
it's
tear
quick,
it
so
down?
either brawl or spring just be like, ah! Like instinct reaction just to kind of like grab it.
I think spring makes sense, yeah.
I'll do a spring, and because I really don't want this going for us, I'll just do 2 willpower just for an extra one.
Okay.
Seth is reckless, but they're paranoid. So
As you get close to the portal, you do feel an immense power on the other side of it.
This is not like a resist or anything, right? I just
No.
roll.
Standard action roll, yeah. A partial success. So that would have been a standard effect. I'm going to say you have a very strong and sturdy grip on this hagstone, but the magical force that is pushing against you is much greater than you anticipated when you grabbed a hold of it. I'm going to reduce it to lesser effect, and there's a good chance that you might be able to get at it if you had some other kind of leverage that you could apply to this.
Yeah, sure. Help me. Let me help. She's going to offer her walking stick to just like pry it out.
Just between like Seth and the wall, just.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's see. What would you like to use for that?
I mean, if we were using brawl, that sounds fine.
Yeah, I think the last one was spring, so I think brawl, going at it from a slightly different angle, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I can use alacrity at no cost, so I'm gonna get increased effect on this.
Awesome. Nice. Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, the extreme supernatural power that you are putting into this. Awesome.
Ooh.
That looks like a 6. Sorry,
Yeah,
it went up under stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, you can describe what that looks like.
Yeah. So I think Seth is already going at it, and I think she gets on the other side and is like, "Here, let me help," and jams her walking stick underneath there. And how big are these hagstones? Like really, really big?
Just normal.
Yeah, like
Normal.
fist size,
Very
maybe.
small.
Within the palm of your hand kind of size.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is probably a little overkill then. She just pushes down and the hagstone goes ping, 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 before settling on the ground.
Yeah.
Quick thinking.
The entire portal sucks back down into the tiny package that it usually rests in a millisecond, narrowly missing your hands and stick as far as cutting pieces of them off when it dissipates. But the portal closes, and there's an audible sigh in the room as whatever was on the other side may have been able to make quick work of all of you. That's the sort of power that you felt from it.
Well,
So what was that?
Not entirely
Dr.
sure,
Manhattan.
but when I went after the treasure, I didn't think another dragon had it. So generally, don't want to cross that line. Generally, I might still cross that line, but later.
Oh, I think we'd all be happy to cross it with you.
Oh, really?
We want
Already making
puppies.
new treasure hunter friends. Speaking of, I like everything you all have going on, and I didn't know vampires ran with covens now, but that's cool. She says, pointing at Elise.
Elise smirks, amused, but doesn't really correct it.
Yeah, you guys have had enough of run-ins with vampires at this point. I don't know if you consider them what you consider them.
No, we're not on the best of terms.
That is correct. Yeah, true.
I think there's too many people we're on the best of terms with, though, so that's not saying too much.
Anyway, hi, I'm Satima. This sort of thing is kind of what I do sometimes when I feel like it.
Breaking and entering.
I prefer exploration of both the urban and interdimensional variety, but I can do breaking and entering when I need to.
Well, you're in good company.
Okay, good.
How are you with arson?
Yeah.
And are you comfortable around tap dancing children?
You see a small child poke his head around the corner that leads up a level, and when he hears that tap dancing children, he scurries back up the stairs.
Hey, kiddo.
Elise hears his tap shoes and shouts, "Bring me another martini."
Listen, sometimes a family is for slightly non-human witches and a child. It's fine. And they learn tap dancing together.
And sometimes it's 13 children, but yeah.
I'm sorry, 13?
13.
There were more, but Seth killed one.
We
Brought
did
it
it
back.
We brought it back. It's not dead.
They've returned they've returned several of them to their parents.
Several, okay.
They've been
We're honorable.
returned in either perfect or near perfect condition. That's what matters.
I am used to being the weirdest gal in the room, but this is a nice change of pace.
I'm used to being the oldest gal in the room, so.
Well, yeah, I imagine you have a few centuries under your belt.
At this point, Steph's gonna pull Ribbert out of their pocket and just be like, I like this chick.
I'm calling that level 1 harm.
You all can.
Why don't we go upstairs and you can explain how you found our portal and opened it up all by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the wrong side.
Maybe we can put on some tea. She ruffles around in a cargo pocket and pulls out a variety of different tea bags to use.
Awesome. All right, you
I guess
all.
this was in our basement, right?
Yeah.
So our basement is a underground, obviously, cave covered in bioluminescent mushrooms.
Yep.
So it's very
Ooh.
pretty down here. And bones. There's probably a few bones by now. I started making my my bone room.
And everyone needs a bone room.
Mhm.
It's like a gal cave or a guy cave. It's the bone room.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our characters have bone rooms, but they all have very different uses.
Mine are decorative.
Right. So
Some of the mushrooms definitely find their way into Setima's pockets on the way up. It doesn't even seem like she's thinking about doing it. She's just like, ooh, shiny.
Because I know the klepto thing now, I'm picking up that hagstone before it goes missing.
good idea. Yeah, you give it a once over and you're like, I'm amazed this thing didn't break from how far it flew.
Speaking of which, am I gonna have to spend downtime actions now to fix my artifact?
When you walk back over with the hagstone, it almost magnetically leaps out of your hand and tries to go back into its proper position.
Freaking magnets.
Very nice for you. You all traverse up about 5 stories until you get to the dining room and where you can have tea. And Satima, you are astounded by the fact that you went through a portal which Shadow World portals that you've been through in the past usually end up in pretty much exactly the same place that you found them. They're sort of a one-to-one with reality, more or less. But this one, you were above ground when you went into the portal, and now you appear to be 5 or 6 stories underground.
Y'all have a really sweet haven here. You've got a multi-purpose portal. You got 5 stories of this.
Well, we've been hoping to expand, but I keep getting distracted, forgetting to enslave a construction.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
sorry. Temporarily employ without remuneration.
yeah. What all rooms did you all pass through on the way up? Was it like Yarrow's workshop?
Workshop, sleeping quarters, all that good stuff.
Yeah. All right.
I imagine someone might need to bat Setima's hand as some doors get past. It's just like,
Yeah, my workshop is full of very shiny baubles. Jarl's like got her cape up while she walks by it. Like, nothing to see here.
all right, peace. So I think Setima gets some tea going. I was like, so I wasn't trying to break into your basement specifically. I was just looking for the first way out I could find. Like I said, it's kind of my thing to explore other dimensions. I didn't think the treasure I was looking for was gonna be in the shadow realm, but that just meant I had to get it, right? Like if it's here just in some dude's vault, that's child's play. I probably should have suspected the dragon thing, but turns out he didn't like it very much. That I was just trying to appreciate historical artifacts, and I was generally thinking I was going to pop out where I came in, but then I popped out here. So that's a pretty remarkable portal you got. Because I kind of redirected that on accident. But the fact that I can do that and also go other places is pretty sweet.
So what was
I
the
think
treasure?
perhaps we should consider a lock of some sort in the future.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was kind of a bit of a lock to get through, but I'm good at that.
Maybe we need to get another troll to put down here.
Yeah, we just recently let all of our trolls go back to Arcadia.
Uh-huh. I mean, there was no bridge on the other side of the portal anyway, so I'm not sure how much they'd like it.
Hollis, you
Right.
wanted to know about the treasure?
Yes.
So the chamber that you found, Setima, looked like in a ruined tower of some kind, and it was closed in with fallen rubble, mostly marble slabs that had closed off a what looked like maybe a trapdoor that led into an armory of some kind. You could sense the resonance of magical items in there, but that was when you were accosted by the flying creature.
Yeah, that. And, I was kind of maybe hoping to get my hands on some weapons and armor worth a damn, because,
Walking stick.
here's pretty sweet, but not everywhere is as well equipped to fight back against, anti-witches as you would think. So, I kind of like to make sure everyone's set up, just in case.
That makes sense.
Given our past experiences, I don't think many are prepared to fight back.
Doesn't seem like it.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to change. I do kind of remember when we were a little bit, but not everyone's a dashing and physically capable aged adventurer. So,
I fight back with my teeth.
Nice.
I
Do you
just
want
have
to stay on the teeth, or do you want a sword too?
I mean, my teeth melt people, so pretty good with my teeth.
That's awesome. Why don't my teeth melt people?
It's a
It's like
bobble.
Hollis needs a silver grill now.
Yeah.
Make it iron.
Well, with like the front two have to be like dragon claws or like dragon teeth or something. Something real gnarly.
Get some fangs.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mostly just got the claws for right now.
Are we trusting at this point of this stranger that has flopped through our portal?
I mean, that's up to you to decide, but I mean, it seems to check out as far as what you know. But like I said, none of you have ever been to this shadow world, and you certainly don't recognize any nearby towers guarded by dragons of some sort.
Yeah, that makes me curious.
Or blue flame shrouded individuals summoning flaming wolves from the dirt. Yeah, none of that rings any kind of bell to any of you offhand.
Yeah. I mean, trusting me, probably a bad idea, but I'm also not a liar. I don't see much point in lying. I'm too old for that.
Zeph's gonna roll with it after hearing Cinema's explanation of looking for weapons, and they're just gonna silently offer their katana. Because they're not using it, and if they were in search of weapons, like, it's up for grabs if they want it. So, if you want my katana, you can have it. If you still need a weapon.
Yes. That's cool.
It is yours.
I've never had a katana.
You can add that to your notes. I'm removing it from mine. You can have it. I have not used it.
But are you sure though? You don't want to do.
I am positive you can have it because it's gonna make you look badass not using it, and you need something to defend yourself, which you were looking for. So go for it. It's yours now.
All right, screw this walking stick. Start using the katana as the walking stick.
Oh my god!
Just tape them together, darling. You'll have yourself a pole arm. I'm sure Yarrow can make some magical tape that won't fall apart.
Like Hollis's broomstick with a bayonet on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember right, Seth has literally had that since the very first session, and maybe used it once.
I used it once in a session where we attacked the nuns at the laundromat, and that was the only time I used it. What a sentence!
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What a sentence! The things you only say during a role-playing game. So yeah, from what you all do know about the Shadow World is that it tends to, as I said, be a sort of strange spiritual representation of reality. So the fact that there's a powerful creature or possibly witch living here in the Shadow World isn't it isn't the strangest thing you've ever heard, but it probably deserves to be investigated, especially when treasure is on the line.
I mean, Hollis is always curious about a new realm, so.
That is a good point. I don't really know what the dragon or the tower translate to here. Probably some skyscraper or something.
That's what I was thinking.
A skyscraper with a very angry CEO in it.
Yeah. Well, you are on in physical reality, you are on a tiny island off the coast of Manhattan, called. Am I remembering right? Are you South Brother Island?
Yes.
One
I
of the
think-
brothers.
Yeah, either South or North. I think North Brother
North
Island.
Brother has Alcatraz on it, doesn't it?
No, North Brother Island is the Vulture Votaries
Oh,
headquarters.
right.
And you guys are South Brother Island, which is the much, much smaller island. And then, yeah, Alcatraz is out there as well. So, which is where the Red Watch keeps some witches under maximum security prison conditions.
Oh, I guess I'm not that far then. I went in Hoboken.
So I'm wondering if this might be like a 1-for-1 for like Sovereign Morningstar keeping control over his abilities to bind witches.
Mm.
But that's just a guess.
I'm sorry, who?
Sovereign Morningstar.
He is
He's
the head of
Big
the
shit.
order.
yeah.
The major witch hunting organization of Manhattan.
Oh, okay, I guess that's the new one. Sorry, I don't keep track of these assholes.
He's been in charge for ages, darling.
Yeah,
And I've been alive for a few more ages. It's fine.
he is presumed immortal, though nobody knows his real age. But he's not a witch, so something else weird going on with him.
But you said Blue Fire, and I like Blue Fire, so I definitely want to go see it.
All right, then let's do it. I'm down to try again. Probably should not go in at the exact same place, though.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy, and it uses a lot of your resources, Sedima, to go in, and the way you go in is an individual thing using your spirit companion that is able to let you in, so they would need to use their portal and probably some of your abilities to get back in.
What if I awaken the portal?
Yeah,
and just ask it to point us where we need to go.
Yeah, there's a good chance that would work.
Ooh, a woke portal.
Those damn SJ portals.
Yours, moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
It cancels you by sending each of you to a different dimension.
Dang it.
Sorry, just hearing that quote from Morningstar
Yeah.
sent me a little. Okay.
Tempted to do it in my Kermit the Frog voice.
We'll see who cancels whom.
I don't know if Andrea even knows the reference, but it's still hilarious regardless.
Apparently not. I don't,
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I
okay.
assumed that it's Jordan
Gotcha.
Peterson, but keep up with him.
Ugh, yeah, try not to. Oh, man. Yeah, so an undertaking then to get this treasure. Does that sound
Yeah.
like your aim?
Yeah, let's do it.
Treasure.
So
Well, I do loathe interdimensional travel, but if there's treasure, treasure means power.
Yeah, I want to see this treasure, and I can't let my friends go on their own, so.
all right. So undertaking type, method, and detail, and then we can get going with a engagement roll.
I think this should be a stealth method. so we don't poke the giant flaming bear.
Um,
Yeah, probably.
what's the detail?
Entry point.
I mean, the creature, the last time you saw it was looking directly at the portal, so coming in through the portal might not count as stealth.
Unless we redirect the portal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like, a couple
Yeah.
kilometers over there.
Good point.
We could take the portal somewhere else to a different part of Manhattan to use it.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Dangerous to have it exposed, but for sure would be. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Where do y'all think?
Could
Or
we go to House of the Ram and use it in their
Yeah,
sanctuary?
that's what I was thinking. We could go to one of our allied peoples and use it there and have them keep it safe until
Okay.
we come back.
Okay. Awesome. Well, because House of the Ram is such a good ally, that's going to net you an extra die for the engagement roll. Alright. Sorry, just a moment. Tabulating all the advantages and disadvantages.
Gavin's applying 4 negative dice.
Only 2 so far. There being something tier 5 related in the portal being one of them. Alright. Okay, with your bonuses, that's going to be a 3-die engagement roll. So quite solid.
Oh,
That is a hair under a crit, so very good. You will begin in a controlled position when the action starts.
Nice.
All right. So, when you meet up with when you go to the House of the Rams massive church in the middle of Manhattan, and you turn the door handle on the front of the church to the left, as you know to do, you end up in that strange, otherworldly, almost Arcadian feeling sub-basement that Puck lives in, the red-skinned satyr that you're fond of. And he welcomes you in with open arms. You immediately feel the sort of healing power of his domain. If anybody is suffering from any level 1 harms, they are immediately cured.
oh, that burn from Setima earlier. Oh,
Feeling a little better about yourself now.
this doesn't feel quite so old.
All right. And he will guard the door for you and keep an eye on the portal for you all to go inside.
Elise is actually curious while we're here if he's had any luck researching
Oh yeah.
that powder that was left on her dress.
Yeah. And I will provide you that information between
At a later
sessions.
date.
I think you guys, you all learned a lot about those, so it's going to be a decent amount of redundant information, but I'm sure there's going to be something interesting. It was a red powder, if I remember right, so not cocaine. Bloody Rose White Wolf, thank you for...
Well, no,
Yes.
that's usually on Elise's gown.
Okay. Satima uses her incredible powers to awaken the portal. And where are you trying to direct it to? They're way out there. Where you need to go is way out on an island, but as long as you're not going to exactly the same place, you should be afforded some level of stealth.
I think Septima wants to have it pop us out in the tower already.
Oh, okay.
Just try and get around any of the outside defenses and plop us in somewhere where she was in the tower, so
Okay.
she can effectively try again.
Awesome. So the first obstacle is going to be wrangling this dang portal and getting it to send you exactly where you want, because it's risky because, or sorry, it is controlled because you can potentially try some other methods. Although this power that Septima has is a once per undertaking ability, so the best chance is definitely the first chance. So what would you like to use for that?
Yeah, I do think she's going to use Awaken the Spirit. And then I kind of like either Focus or Sway for this, because I think how this looks like is she like puts her hand on the portal and it's like, all right, girl, let's go right inside the tower. Do it for me.
I love that. Yeah, Sway sounds perfect. I love that. That is, yeah. Perfect.
And
Yeah.
I spend willpower to push myself.
You may. You can also call for a Fey bargain, which is a lot like a Devil's bargain. It just, eventually a Fey will come calling for payment for their assistance. And of course you can receive teamwork, but because this is a grimoire ability, no one can really assist too much.
Yeah, I'm going to push myself for an extra die.
Excellent. So this is going to be standard effect controlled.
All right.
Oh, we have a partial success. Okay. So I think, let's see. For the partial success, I think that the portal is, the spirit within the portal feels that it has been sort of Septima handled. The way you awakened it the first time, and now that you're trying to be friendly with it, it wants some kind of offering, but it's willing to delay that offering. So it basically tells you that if you bring it a present or something of that nature, then it will it'll do your bidding for now, but it'll require payment in the future.
What about some polish for your hagstones?
Oh.
She pulls one out of the pocket.
Yeah, considering how scuffed that one hagstone became from, yeah, that actually sounds just about perfect. So if you want to let everyone go in ahead of you, you could spend a little time giving it a polish.
Yeah, I'll do that. I want to take care of the objects I awaken. They're friends.
You're friends, not tools. You're also tools, but you're also friends. All right. Who goes through first then?
I think Yarrow leaned forward to peek and tripped in.
All right.
I think Seth wants to learn proper portal maintenance, so they'll probably stick around.
Nice.
Hollis will definitely jump right in there.
Okay.
As previously mentioned, Elise hates interdimensional travel, but she'd be bored all by herself, so she'll follow after Hollis.
Okay. And shortly thereafter, Septima joins you. You're in a relatively cramped upper area of this ruined tower. and you are immediately aware that the stone that makes up this tower does look familiar. You've seen this marble before on your island, scattered about. But you've never seen it sort of all built up in this way, and it makes you wonder if there's more marble buried on your island than the little you've found sticking up out of your beach and in various other places.
And I hope so. Maybe we could get somebody to carve us a new house out of it.
Nice countertops.
I was thinking a grand throne room. But yes, countertops.
When you look up, you can see that there is a completely black sky overhead, and there doesn't seem to be any light cast by anything, but there's sort of a permanent middle darkness that permeates everything. You're able to see through it moderately well without the aid of any kind of magic or special tools. If you were carrying something like a flashlight, it probably wouldn't work here. But because flashlights are usually outside of the realm of technology, the witches can get away with using effectively. You're not able to test it. But Elise, you're immediately worried whether your gun would fire here.
Yes, unfortunately, my favorite spell is taken from me once again.
Done.
Oh, no, what's your favorite
Bam.
spell?
Gun.
Power word bullet.
That's a good spell. Arm witches.
Yeah. So when you look up, you are able to see the ruined cathedral that opens up to the sky above you. It looks like this tower has been overgrown and disused, and the chunks of marble that made up that cathedral have fallen down a grand staircase that you're standing at the top of, and you can see where those chunks of marble have landed and obscured the door that Septima points out to you that apparently contains the treasures. So you are all still in a quite good position. Nobody seems to be wise to your whereabouts.
Okay, so that supposedly contains the treasure. But dragon popped up last time I tried to get in there. So we might want to find a way to deactivate it somewhere else.
Deactivate the thing.
Yeah, or I don't know, or prevent a dragon from popping up.
Can
Can
you
I
all
use
use
my
their...
otherworld omens at this point?
Say that again?
Can I use my otherworld omens?
That's actually why that's why I was having you roll that one die. It was otherworldly omens. And then I forgot that's why. Yeah, no, absolutely. You absolutely can. Yeah, go ahead and, let's see. Actually, there's not usually a roll for that. You just basically get to ask, is there sort of anybody watching me? Am I being stalked? In a very general manner, you do get the feeling that you are being monitored. It's very similar to the feeling that you get when you're in a Baba's domain. You feel like you are definitely in someone's domain. So you might not be being actively monitored, but yeah, you can feel a sort of oppressive force on you.
So can I try Arcane Supremacy and see if I can dispel any enchantments that might be on the door?
Yeah, so the door right now is blocked by a giant piece of marble that's fallen. And that marble hasn't moved. It hasn't been moved yet. So it might not be related to the door being opened. That was the issue. But When you guys
This-
get down there, you absolutely can.
I can try to maybe move the marble with my telekinesis
Okay.
if I greatly focus on it.
Yeah, or I can just try to chuck it. But telekinesis does sound cleaner and easier.
Yeah, I don't want to draw too much attention to us. Let's see if we can lightly just roll it out of the way first, and then we can destroy it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. all this-
Let's see. That'll be my focus roll then, and then one essence. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I roll it over my hoof in the process.
Yeah, actually, that sounds totally fine. Yeah, you get a good position where you're like hunched down and you're using your mental powers to force the block, and it mostly slides, but then it sort of comes off of a ledge and takes out one of your toes on the way down. Level 1 harm.
Oh, you
And-
chipped my hoof. I just reshoot these.
Yeah.
You okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just more mad that the new reshoot hooves are chipped.
Mhm. Yeah, it rips the shoe off completely and damages the
no.
front of your hoof.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
Hold on,
stuck
I might have a shoe in here somewhere. Just gonna spend some time looking for one.
But amazingly, you look around after the marble finds its resting position, and does not seem to have alerted anybody or anything.
Well,
And
that's
now
good.
The trapdoor is just there at your feet, and now even Yarrow can feel this, can sense the resonance coming from within.
Ooh.
Right, there's a lot of magic in there.
Yarrow's all goosebumpy. It's like, oh, we ought to see what's down there, guys. It seems fun.
You can see an iron hook on the door itself, and it looks like it's not too heavy. It could probably be opened by a single person.
Man door, hand hook, car door.
Yarrow immediately just goes to push it open. She's like, nobody
We'll
at
talk
once
about
now.
the arcane supremacy.
Mhm.
Yeah, doesn't even think about it. She's reckless. She just goes and tries to push it open.
Gotcha. Make a 1-die fortune roll for me.
Okay.
Thank you for coming, Robot Rainbows. We'll see you next time.
Ja, darling.
All right. So if there's an alarm, it's a silent one. You're not hearing anything. It takes a lot of effort out of you to get the door open. It's quite a bit heavier than you expected. And you strain and make a little noise in the process of opening it. But when it comes to rest against that huge chunk of marble you just moved out of the way, you can see wooden stairs that descend into what looks like a relatively, aside from the dust on everything, thick layer of dust. Everything in here seems to be pretty well kept. And
I think Sanctum had kind of backed towards the wall a little bit like, dragon? I can have one? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Let's get down.
Yarrow just sneezes profusely from all the dust in here.
Yep. All right. You hear a howl in the distance, and
Oh, no.
we're gonna start a clock and just put 1 tick on it. That's a 6 clock, which is the patrols are alerted. So far so good.
Yeah, let's get down there. Probably make it quick.
Mm-hmm.
Quick, quick,
You
quick.
can start going down the stairs.
It's just alacrity down there.
Yeah. Nyom.
Zip, zip. All right. The two of you make it down there first for one essence, and you are able to begin stocking your bags and pockets with everything from bracers. It looks like this is like archaic weaponry, which, nothing wrong with archaic weaponry. But
It could be useful.
yeah, absolutely.
Witches and all.
It does look like at least a few people came and armed up at some point before this place shut down. So there's not a ton left. A couple of swords that will need to be identified. A chest piece that is definitely radiating magic. You can Yarrow can find resonance, right? Just not grimoires.
Yeah, it's just resonance of any items or places of power.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely resonating with magical power, but it's you're not really getting a strong sense of the type of power. It's just
We might take it back to the workshop.
Yeah. This could be just stuff that was forged with such skill by magical beings that it or maybe it's from being here in this spirit world for so long it maybe has picked up some of the resonance of the world around it.
So Yarrow opens her big endless bag and moves over the gnome chunks and just tells everybody to start throwing stuff in.
We just dump the gnome chunks out here.
No, I'm gonna leave one gnome chunk. Maybe they'll think that a gnome tried to steal some stuff and got ate by the It's a little red herring. It's fun. Red gnoming.
Good to know.
Okay. Within a few minutes, you have all managed to quietly take everything that resonated with any kind of power, whether on your person or in Yarrow's bag that she disgusting bag.
Yarrow's offended. She's like, disgusting. I quite like my random assortment of chunks and things now.
Oh, just
Listen,
imagine
I'm hardly one to
Carol
judge.
offended, like holding the bag and just this awful squelching noise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a comfort item now.
And the five of you begin to head back up these stairs leading back to your portal. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Hello and welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. We are Season 2, Episode 11, nearing mid-season break. And the Coven and our guest star, who is a Hydra named Septima, are deep in the tower of an unknown creature, absconding with its treasures. After a very successful break-in via portal into the Shadow World. And they have just filled their pockets with every ounce of treasure they could find, and are now headed back up to their portal to possibly leave unless they decide to explore further. So, everyone heading up the stairs back to the top where your portal lies.
Yeah, except Yara wants to chip off a little bit of this marble on the way out.
Yeah, I
These
kind of
all
want to
take
check
the
to see
whole
if there's
thing.
any kind of inscriptions or carvings or anything that might give us an idea of who lives here or who possibly lived on our island at some point in time.
Sure. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think if anybody has any, like, grimoire abilities that would be useful. I think Yarrow could sort of get a resonance fingerprint from some of this marble, at least as far as magic goes, and see if you can identify that it is the same marble found on your island.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could just take that as read. You take a few seconds to concentrate on it and put your hands on the cold stone, and you have absorbed some information about it. I think Seth has some powers that might be of assistance as well for finding any of the emotions tied to an object.
Yeah, I have psychometry if we want to use that. Oh, jeez, I just realized how obnoxious my light was.
There's nothing about bylighting that is obnoxious, ever. Yeah, do you want to use that on anything in particular? One of these treasures that you found, or just some of the marble architecture itself, or something else?
Considering the marbles around our base as well, I think I'd want to touch the marble.
Okay, like
Actually, you know what? I can touch the marble once I'm home. I know it's here, so never mind. I'll touch some of the art.
Okay, there's the banister of the stairway probably has been touched by a lot of people, but a lot of anything that's sort of not tied down is probably gone at this point. So yeah, there isn't any like art on the walls. You can tell where there was at some point in the distant past, possibly.
Okay.
What would you like to use for psychometry, and what precisely would you like to use it on?
Perhaps you should consider touching grass.
So the
Yeah, get out of your mind palace.
the entrance to this tower seems to be closed up with rubble. So there is a little bit of what looks like it would be grass if you were in the real world, but it's something that resembles grass in spirit, but not in reality.
Literally in spirit.
You know what? It's a lot more interesting than an artifact now. If I can get would I be able to touch the grass and maybe get a sense of other creatures or this realm a little bit more? Or, if it's trying to mimic life, if this is like that, it's actually here. Like if we're seeing it because we can't comprehend things, just that kind of idea.
Yeah, I would say with psychometry, no, but with maybe just your own sort of, abilities and senses to sort of get a feeling about it. Yeah. You feel like it is almost like an essence of grass more than it is like individual blades of grass. It's sort of like the spirit of this undisturbed ground has sort of a little bit of life to it, a little bit of like spiritual life to it. It definitely does not come across as biological in any way. Like it's definitely going to stay like this forever at this point.
Perfect. Well, we'll get that, and we'll use that to turf the entire island.
So I think Settima might have some about when it comes to you trying to take something from this world. Settima knows something about what happens when you take things back into the real world.
So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna whip out a keep off the grass sign.
Yeah. We might need to do something if we want to take that back. Stuff that's already heavily magical can do it, but like the stuff of the plane is kind of just shadow. Trust me, I tried to take some stuff.
Yeah. Magical things can be brought with you if you there are some things you might need to do to them, like awakening them. But yeah, mundane things don't tend to survive the trip. They kind of turn into ectoplasm on the way out.
Disco ball, disco ball.
Can Seth do a psychometry butt slide down the banister?
Just try to pick up every emotion down the banister. Yeah, but I think you guys are heading
their
up
butt.
the banister,
Oh.
so you would need to like propel yourself up the stairs with your butt. And I mean,
I'll push.
Push.
if anybody can do it, it's Seth.
No one knows the velocity of my own butt.
You could turn into a snake.
Yeah, I was
Find
gonna
your
say
way up.
I'll just do a basic shapeshift and I'll just be a snake and I'll just like wrap my way up the banister as I follow everybody else up.
Yeah. So you get a nice good grip on the banister and you're about to use your power, and you realize that like everything else here that's not magical, when you sort of touch it, it sort of has not a stickiness to it, but it doesn't feel very real. You can almost lay your hand on it and just sort of let your hand sort of gently go through it. And it lacks all of the things you expect. It lacks any kind of resonance. It's just this weird inert matter, and it doesn't have any emotions attached to it, despite the fact that it may have rested this way for potentially hundreds or even thousands of years. There just nothing takes hold of it, except apparently dust, because I forgot and described it that way.
Does that mean Seth just comes like plowing to the floor?
No,
I can't actually sit.
yeah, it has enough. It has enough reality for you to like climb it or something. But if you just sort of rest your hand on stuff, you sort of just slowly sink into it.
It's like a non-Newtonian fluid. You just have to
Yeah.
run real fast.
Yeah. And
Get up the stairs.
it is about that time that you're all heading up the stairs when you notice that there is a fire, or the sound of fire, burning at the top of the stairs near where you left your portal.
Oh, dang it. I thought I left Jean at home.
And you can see
Oh no. No.
blue light dancing across the ruined overhead, the ruined ceiling at the upper level.
Can I have my familiar poke her head up
Yeah, absolutely.
and see through her eyes?
Yeah, so she sort of winds her way between the banisters and until she gets up to the top level, and then covertly takes a look to see what's going on up there. Like a prowl or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would make sense.
They'll never expect a tiny viper.
Viper, no viping.
I have 0 prowl. Does alacrity apply?
Usually your familiar can't benefit from your spells
Gotcha.
unless it's specifically stated. So it'd just be a 0 die roll. Now you can use willpower or teamwork or fey bargain, etc. to get extra dice.
I'll just willpower my way into a single die.
Nice. That's a 1.
Great.
So, I'm going to say that because it's still controlled, you have a chance to withdraw or try a different approach. The blue flame, when your snake gets near the top, is sort of overwhelming enough that it seems unlikely that you're going to be able to get much information, and it's possible that whatever created the fire is still up there, and maybe you're hearing some footsteps or footfalls from up there, and you're not able to see exactly what it is, but it sounds humanoid from the steps.
She's gonna put her snake back around her neck. So there's a person and probably also a dragon up there.
Yeah. And then we got a Hand of Fate with a 2. So I'm going to say on that 1, we're basically going to go straight to Desperate unless you want to resist that. That whatever it is up there did indeed spot or hear the slithering of your familiar.
The snakes are so loud.
Apparently it was waiting.
On the one hand, I don't want to send everything wrong, but on the other hand, I want to make sure everyone can get XP.
Yep, you are definitely... You get 1 XP for rolling a 1 on the... yeah, so we do it inverted. If you roll a 1 on a risky or desperate action, you get an XP in the attribute associated with the action. So in your case, that would be Prowl, which is Prowess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you get a Prowess XP.
Okay. In that case...
It's sort of a learning from your mistake kind of thing.
In that case, I would like to resist the consequence.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Let's say Insight. Does that make sense?
Sure.
That is going to cost you 3 willpower to resist.
Cool. I'm burning through it.
Our first guest star with trauma by the end of the session.
Yeah.
Or your money back. Actually, that doesn't exactly feel fair because you did withdraw, and that was more of a consequence of the Hand of Fate than of your actual action. But yeah, let's say that your serpent withdraws and drops off the banister and lands on your shoulder and curls up nice and tight. And you are not the first person that is seen as the entity comes around the corner. What you all see is what looks like a human body draped in white cloth with the face of a snake, which also looks like a white cloth has been draped over it. So you can see some snaky features through like eye holes in the cloth and hear some hissing. So yeah, it might have just been snakes know other snakes. And amidst this white garb, you see blue flames dancing underneath it. And this entity steps up at the top of the staircase and appears to be blocking your path forward, but does not appear to be making any other aggressive motions.
So, can I hand everybody some earplugs and then do word of power sleep? And I'm just like handing out earplugs. Everyone's like, okay, everybody cover their ears, get all stuffed up. And then I just literally yell up the corridor, sleep. That way, if they hear it all, forget a snakes have ears. Can snakes hear?
Yeah, you should be able to target that just fine. Usually you can deal with the fact that everybody has a telepathic bond, but Sanctum is not currently part of that telepathic bond. So,
Yeah, so I just pass out the little cotton for everybody to shove in their ear. All right, and let's see. I think that'll be a focus roll and 1 essence. So let's see. Hey, I'm getting better at these power words. It's a partial success out of 5.
Hey.
Wow.
Okay. So you sense sort of overwhelming magical power coming from this figure, and they flash out their cloak and seem to deflect the magic. But you see their cloak, the blue flames in it seem to lose their power. So we're going to start a 4 o'clock for this creature's cloak that it is, and before it runs out of magic deflection.
So now it definitely sees us. Goes power word.
Yeah, Yarrow leapt forward ahead of everyone and shouted sleep, and it did not go quietly into that great night.
But at least we didn't either, which is usually what happens when Yarrow uses his spells.
Especially the power
Smart.
words. They seem to reflect around a lot.
They're tricksy.
Can this entity be my rival?
Who's your rival? Do you have a name or anything?
Well, whatever you had for them. But I don't know. I think maybe they used to not be on this plane, and
Yeah.
we were friends, and they fucked off with a bunch of magical armaments. So I'm like, let's redistribute those, maybe. And that's why I'm stealing stuff.
How about your rival works for them?
I see. Okay.
So you don't recognize them right offhand. You had never met them before, but when you get these some of these treasures back to your usual fences and such, you're gonna recognize maybe where they were taken from or something of that nature. Okay. He steps completely out, or it steps completely out onto the stairs above you, and roars, and you see a dragon's head puff out the cloth of its face mask, and it roars down the stairs, but then it stops again and doesn't make another move toward you.
Hi again. We were just leaving.
You hear a surprisingly gentle voice that sounds like it's coming from a very elderly man sort of creep out from underneath the white face mask, and he says, I've hoarded those treasures down here so long as a way to lure prey that, in a way, I'm kind of glad to see that they'll be gone when you're gone.
So we could just go.
Yeah.
And then
Fine.
he steps back up to the top of the stairs, and with a wave of his hand, the blue flames die down in front of your portal and all around the top level.
Well served.
And what was the whole chase about earlier? Was I good prey?
I usually pick off one here and one there. It's rare to see a group such as yourself in my home. Hollis, your broomstick, your artifact broom, is trying to get out of your grasp. It is you have your hand firmly on it, but it is really trying to get away from you and go up toward him.
I'm gonna hold it out so that he can see it and ask him if this looks familiar to him.
Let's see, what's your coven tier? 3 right now?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say he doesn't recognize it in particular, especially with the bayonet on the end and all of that. But he's probably seen a lot of brooms in his day, especially magical ones. But it is at that point that the broom breaks in half, and you see the woman who had been you had been holding inside of it leaps out of the broom in a sort of ghostly form and rushes him up the stairs.
Oh, the broom's a person. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told a woman that she could live in that broom for a year and a day, because it was originally her broom before it got taken to the Museum of Modern Artifacts.
Yarrow puts both hands on her cloak, like,
What was
Does
your
your broom have beef with him?
So yeah,
Setimo was saying, Hollis, do you have beef with this guy, or does your broom have beef? What's going on?
I guess maybe the broom lady has beef.
she
Maybe we should
Is
just
tired
go.
of these motherfucking snakes on these motherfucking planes of existence.
yeah, we can just let them duke it out and just like sneak out. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, we were already on our way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As she rushes up the stairs, you see that she has the bayonet part
Oh,
of the broomstick that broke off, and she rushes him with alacrity. For sure, you're definitely sure that she used alacrity, and she basically vanishes from in front of you. And when she reappears, she shoves the bayonet toward his chest, and he puts his hand down, and she shortens and appears in a sort of crystal ball, which he picks up and hands back to you when you get down, or when you get up to him, along with the bayonet piece that she took from you.
I'm sorry about that. I
And
did
normally our
not know.
prisoners react a little better.
She's not broom trained.
Why didn't she like you? What's
Yes.
that relationship?
Apparently, a lot has gone on since I've been back in the world. I haven't seen a portal like this, an ability for people to come and go from the shadow world in hundreds of years. I would like to go back with you.
I mean, I'm fine with that. It would be cool to have another dragon around.
He takes off the mask, and you can see underneath the white piece of cloth, there are several different faces. There's the face of a dragon and the face of a serpent, and another face that looks like a much more able-bodied man, because when he takes off the mask, he looks like a mix between Gandalf and Sauron, if you added their ages together. He looks like he might be 300 or 400 years old.
Another worldly cherubin. Okay.
Yeah. He looks almost like a skeleton.
His name is Methuselah.
Methuselah. And
But Methuselah lived 900 years.
he tells
This
you
one
he's
looks like a
been
whippersnapper.
he's been trapped on the lower Lost Isle for 350 years or so.
Why? Did you get stuck, or did somebody stick you here?
I'd rather discuss it on the other side of the portal.
I bet you
But I
would.
understand. But I understand that that might seem like a danger to you. You must forgive that it has been a long time since I've known the goings on of the physical reality, but I was trapped here purposefully for becoming a lich.
Well,
Ooh.
How does one become a lich?
It takes years of study and resources beyond measure, and all of my resources were consumed in my studies. But they sent me here in this accursed realm, in which I have gained a not insignificant amount of power, but been unable to leave until now. My two brothers, on the other hand, I assume have no hope of ever leaving the domains they were trapped in.
Ooh, where'd they go?
The greater Lost Island, and the third, I am not aware where he was trapped. I was trapped in the closest realm, the Shadow World, because I was considered the least threat.
I mean, who put you here? What were you threatening?
We had beef about immortality and long lives, and whether a witch should die a natural death or live forever. Obviously, I chose to live forever, and I was punished for it. The
I mean,
people who punished me were known as Eaters of Sin. They had many names.
Oh.
But this individual that just attacked me, and he makes sure to hand you back the crystal ball. She'll be safe in there. Is allied with a much older organization. An organization of witches who think they know the right answers about immortality and long lives. You know them as keepers of the old ways. It looks like this one was a spy. Probably keeping an eye on you all because of your proximity to my lair.
So, I need a group discussion really quick. So I guess I'll say this through the telepathic bond is that Sin Eaters, Vulture Votary, are our allies. So if we bring this guy out, we could be upsetting that partnership. So that's something to consider.
I really don't know much about this.
I mean, are we going to have to take care of him? Is he going to live at our house?
Will he tend to the mushrooms for us?
I mean, he's been living in a shadow world for 350 years. I think even your basement would be considered a massive upgrade. He wouldn't have to continue to eat unruly explorers in the shadow world, and could instead eat normal
That's
food
the other
like
thing.
everyone
He eats
else.
people.
Yeah,
He eats people.
he definitely admitted to such.
Hmm.
But he wouldn't have done it if they wouldn't have trapped him here.
Well, he can come out of the realm, but maybe become a prisoner instead of ours.
I don't think we're going to be able to hold him, darling.
Yeah.
I'm not in the telepathic link, right? So I'm not hearing any of this.
Sadly, no.
Yeah, we're looking at
Honestly, I
They're
think
all
I'm just
nodding
chatting
at
with him,
each
getting
other,
his name.
You can
Yeah.
like
They're doing the
almost see thoughts flying past you, but I can't intercept them.
In general, I'm wary about the idea of bringing anything more powerful than us into the world.
But if it's beholden to us because it feels a debt of gratitude, that could also work for our advantage.
And they have already captured a mole for us, technically.
Technically, yeah. That solves the problem for us, too. That means we don't have to give all of our stuff back to her.
Yeah, although
I was just planning on enslaving her.
she just did destroy one of the 3 artifacts, though.
Yeah, that is very upsetting because I liked my broom.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good broom.
You wouldn't have been able to defeat Krampus if it weren't for that broom.
I know.
You also lack, as Bloody Rose White Wolf mentions, you also lack a patron. Lich patron.
Pass. Cannibal Lich patron. No.
Dang.
We're going to have the mushrooms eat people to give us power, not some lich.
So,
Well, we could say, hey, tend our mushrooms, and the mushrooms eat them.
yeah, I think the main thing is he's willing to let the treasures go in exchange for his freedom, because without the treasures here, he will not be attracting any food to the island.
Yeah, but
You know,
nobody
if we
knows
just
the
let him
treasures
go
are found.
wild, we could probably have plausible deniability, and then
Yeah, that's true. We didn't
let the
know.
Order handle it.
Yeah.
Just another complication for them to deal with. I have no objections to that.
He
It's
could
like
be
we
a good
won't
distraction.
specifically say he can come or not. We'll just so happen to leave the portal open behind us.
I
And
got
then-
an idea though.
Leave him with House of the Ram.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, crap.
Speaking in downtime with Gavin about what general power I swapped to,
Oh yeah.
and I swapped
Oh.
to Chimeric Familiar, which I've essentially turned Ribbert into a Hypnotoad.
Ooh.
So I have the chance to hypnotize him if we want him to do some of our bidding. So whether it's or not, just like, hey, don't mess with us or mess with our stuff when we get back to the other world or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we're gonna take the goodies and you're gonna play nice. But like, I could try to do something like that if we're into that.
Yeah. It's possible that his magic cloak might deflect such an ability, but you know, there's
like,
always a
I'm down
chance.
for that if there's any kind of like bounce back or whatever too, because Steph has that reckless and haunted trait. So like they could just be like, it may not work, but whatever, we'll do.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. So I'm down to try that if, despite the possible consequences, if anyone thinks it's okay, unless someone has a different idea. I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
He takes off, like I said, took off the helmet. He holds it out and says, "Would this sweeten the deal? They won't have any use for it in your realm."
What's his helmet do?
Possibly allows him to turn into a serpent, a dragon, and a sort of super powerful person.
Can I use psychometry on his helmet
Um,
to kind of understand more?
yeah, I think so, because it's magical and comes from another realm originally.
Just to kind of get an idea of like the emotional events of its past. So like how he's used it, maybe just to understand how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
I do recommend shapeshifting into a dragon. From experience, it's very cool.
All right. What would you like to use with your
My psychometry.
psychometry? Yes.
I guess focus.
Okay. Sounds good. Oof. Yeah, so I think
I just dropped the helmet.
it's possible that it's spent so much time in the shadow world that it has lost any of its sort of magical memories that are attached to it. You do get a sense of like loss, but it's very momentary and just sort of flits away from you as fast as it came to you. Sort of I don't know, you got like a muddy feeling. Yeah.
Can I have the helmet?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he'll let you guys pass it around to each other.
I'm gonna put it on.
Hollis is gonna look like a kid with like a pot on their head and like two big.
Yeah, it's like a bobblehead or something.
When you put it onto your head, which side do you put face forward? The attractive, statuesque gentleman, the serpent, or the dragon?
I'll do the snake.
Okay. When you put it on, it immediately fits down to the size of your face.
Ooh.
And yeah, you gain heat pits, and you can see better in the dark. You can sort of taste bits of everybody in the air that you brought down here with you. Though not much else, because nothing else really has any. It doesn't really give off any particles of, itself. But yeah,
This is cool.
you definitely feel like you have the abilities of a snake, and There are probably other things you could do with it. You're just not aware of.
Cool. I think
Talk with Andromeda.
that passes. Let's go. He can
Passes the
come.
vibe check. You gonna take it off?
I'm gonna switch it to the sexy man side.
Okay. When it turns, it basically asks your mind what you want it to be. So it can basically turn you into any kind of Median-looking witch.
I just want to be tall.
I want to be tall.
Hollis is going through like the character customization menu now. Just
Yeah. You become an androgynous but tall Median for a few moments until you take it off. It was like
Cool. I'm gonna walk.
like when you were illusioned to look like a Median before, except you actually are now. Your perception shifts upward by several feet. You're seeing everybody from a completely different angle.
Yarrow still tries to give head pats, but just higher.
I'm just gonna walk around. I'm a human. Look at me.
I do taxes.
I
dude.
pay taxes and have anxiety.
I have anxiety and eat cheese.
Oh, I'm down with the cheese part. Yeah, so he kind of looks everybody over. Like I said, he looks frail. Like
Is
he
he
looks
just
like
gonna die when he
you
walks
could
up?
breathe hard on him and he would just fall over.
Did a trip going through the portal and just like break a hip.
Well, we wouldn't have to worry about it anymore then, at least, right?
I don't know that a lich can break its hip.
Okay, let's take him. Let's go. Just make sure Puck doesn't say anything to anybody when he comes out.
Yeah,
See
I'll go out.
anything.
I'll go out first and just start flirting with Puck, and we'll see if we can.
Nice. All right. What do you want to use for that?
I have no sway, and I'm a bad flirter, so we can just sway and do a
What
zero
about-
dice sway roll.
What about consort?
Oh, that's still 0.
Oh.
The only thing I have in resolve is 2 focus, so Yarrow's resolve is not the best. But yeah, I can go out, and either way, it's gonna be 0 die, and I am gonna do 0 die too. I just want to see the crapshoot it's gonna be. How bad do I fail? Really bad.
All right. Well, that's a 1. So you're gonna get an XP.
Socially awkward.
So you walk right up to him in your most sultry manner, but you're like, clip, weird clop, weird,
Oh, yeah,
weird clop because of your broken hoof. And when the guy
It's the
comes,
sway look. Marilyn used to adjust her heels to walk just like that on purpose.
when the guy comes out of the portal, he like grabs you by the horn and pushes you to the side and walks right past you. And he's like,
Rude.
"Who is this?" He's-
Someone who's definitely not going to blow up Manhattan.
Yeah, nothing to worry about at all. We just found a straggler again. That's all. You know how we are. We
He's like,
bringing strays home all the time.
I can smell the shadow world on you.
Well, that's rude. You're not supposed to point it out.
Well, Hollis, what can you smell on Puck?
That's a really good question.
Hollis is just gonna walk out all tall and be like, "It's fine. I'm tall now. And don't worry about it."
You want to taste
My-
him?
Very tall.
You want to use your tongue to taste him?
No.
I think that's what Elise meant by Hollis give him a sniff. See where he's been. who goes around sniffing people. Every snake.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a
Most-
tall man right now. I'm not a snake.
Oh yeah, he's probably looking at you with suspicion too. Where's
Random
Hollis?
tall androgynous man.
Yeah, where's Hollis? And who are these two weird guys you've got with you?
Both of them are Hollis. What are you talking about? It's just a weird side effect of the magic.
It's fine. It's fine.
This is what happens when you do interdimensional travel. You end up with two Hollises, neither of which actually look like Hollis.
We're gonna fix it when we get home. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, he takes a look around and goes, "This smells of plenty chaos. I'll allow it."
Oh, a
Trust me,
man
me,
after my
around
own
those
heart.
chaos is involved.
Yep.
And I'll just be like, "Milady," and walk out of the door.
Wow, she's really getting into the role.
Yeah. Materializes a fedora. Okay. Yeah, he will follow you home, and he is, I would have to say, exceptionally saddened by what has become of his home island. Since
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
since he left it about 350 years ago.
One man's trash, another man's treasure, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of treasure,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I need a couple of those swords.
Plenty. Yeah.
While you all get to know your new skeleton roommate.
Carl hands over the bag. It's like, okay,
Like
here you
college again.
go.
You found the treasure, you get first pick.
Yeah. I want the coolest sword I can find. But not actually the coolest sword, because I want everyone who's actually regular on the podcast to have good treasure.
Yeah, you get to walk around. You get to walk away with the fifth coolest thing, unless you come back.
Also a katana.
Yeah, yeah. You've still got the katana, regardless.
That's yours.
Yeah, that's yours to keep. That's your parting gift.
To wield.
All right. Well, that seemed like a pretty dang successful undertaking. As always, you picked up more people than you left with, which seems to be standard for Nightsky Sanctum. It's like, if we don't come back with at least one person extra, it's not an undertaking.
It's like, should that be added to our lore at some point? Just stray
Yeah,
people.
we pick up
Yep.
strays.
I was gonna say too, we add that to like our lore, so it's like friends, we hoard them.
Yeah.
Whether they want to or not.
This is your first lich, though. So,
That's pretty cool.
We're just
Yeah.
very aggressive with our friendship. They have no choice.
hmm It's a good thing you have so many holding cells.
We never asked this lich their name.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's because I was an idiot and didn't come up with one ahead of time.
He forgot.
So thank
Gavin
you
was
for
like,
not
please
asking.
don't ask, please don't ask,
Yeah.
please don't ask.
We all make up a name and we take a couple letters from each of the names we pick and
Ooh.
we combine it into one. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, that's his name.
As Miranda Thyris.
Seraphine says, "Into the friend cave."
Oh, butthole. Like
Butthole. Nice. You guys just literally picked up Bobby 2 sessions ago? 1 session ago? Yeah, 2 sessions ago.
I forgot Bobby.
Yeah. Another satyr.
Oh yeah, but he's got like a weird person inside of him.
Yeah.
yeah. Unintentional. See,
Unintentional satyr.
Yeah. They found a group of a pharmaceutical company that was experimenting on witches and put a scientist in a witch's body. But luckily the scientist that they put in the witch's body was friends with the coven, so now he's hanging out with them and trying to learn magic very poorly. But sadly, the satyr whose body he was put into seems to be missing. Like, does not exist. So it's sad. Oh, let's have a drawing down the moon. You guys didn't luckily do anything that was too
yeah, no wild magic. That's
no wild magic.
Yeah.
But it's
I'll do some real quick.
Who wants to draw down the moon?
How would one do it?
Yeah, we can
Our
have our
guest should.
guest star do it. So it is a ritual that all covens conduct at the end of an undertaking to restore themselves some willpower and essence. And it is a ritual that is conducted by every member in their own unique way, and it can be done differently every time. But it's usually something like calling down the 4 elements, and or even just calling down the moon itself to bless the coven.
Is that different from Restore Essence?
Yeah, Restore Essence is a downtime action that you would use in addition if you needed more essence that Drawing Down the Moon didn't cover.
Gotcha.
Drawing Down the Moon's a freebie, basically, because we tend to run through everything so much faster in this game, because we have 2 expendable things, essence and willpower. So.
Right.
Plus, it binds together the coven and grounds any wild magic that's been cast. So if you had like the Red Watch coming after you because you cast some wild magic, that's basically, you know, in Blades, if you kill somebody, the ghost hunters come after you. It's the same idea with wild magic. There's an organization that comes after witches who use wild magic, and so that cancels out the clock.
Gotcha.
So how would you go about it?
So we kind of make up our own little ways of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flavor it however you please.
Yes.
I think Septima is like in gratitude for helping her out with this. It kind of involves emptying most of her pockets.
Oh,
and it's kind of like an exchange thing, like something that was worn by someone else is exchanged around, and it's like you're giving essence to other people, and the moon looks happily on that or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think a bunch of you end up with a bunch of gaudy rings that you don't really need, but
Everybody needs gaudy rings all the time.
I love them.
And then in our chat, you can type in !3 DDTM. Drawing down the moon. 1 extra D.
Oh.
DDTM. But we'll take that one because that was a crit. So
oh,
hell yeah.
sweet.
Except I didn't click it. There it goes. 664.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So that is regain 6 essence and 3 willpower. Fantastic.
Oh, that puts me down at only 1 tick per each of them. For once, Yarrow's ready.
And that
I only had 3 willpower and I didn't use a single one this session, so I clean slate now, I suppose.
Yeah. Awesome. First crit of the night during Drawing Down the Moon. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Well, now Hollis is full up, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Anybody have any downtime activities they want to take? You get
Mine don't really matter, but I can add +1d to someone's Restore Essence action.
Ooh.
It's a Grimoire move.
I would like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask if Elise's cigarette holder was back to being full of essence yet.
Certainly.
Oh, it
Most
is?
certainly.
Oh, okay.
I didn't spend any this session, and I was already at 0.
Oh,
so
okay.
if
Gotcha.
I had any in the cigarette holder spent, it's not anymore.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I bet everybody's probably good on essence because of that crit. Nice.
So I would like to work on my power word, heal,
Mm-hmm.
and get that.
Okay. Awesome.
I forget how to go about working on that with a downtime action.
Let me double check. I think it's a 6 o'clock. Did we determine whether it was a 1 essence effect, a 3 essence effect? Oh, it's a new effect. Those are 12 clocks.
Oh, those are 12? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was mainly going to base it like however many people needed healing. That's probably however much essence would be spent.
So it'd start at 1 and then work its way up.
Yeah.
Cool.
But let me split this clock up. Did I get enough pieces in there? All right, and then do I roll? I forget. Do I roll a fortune roll for that?
Yeah, you determine the action that you want to use to help you learn that, and then you roll it and as a fortune roll, and
Let's
that'll tell you
see.
how many ticks.
I think I would just use focus, just keep focusing on down in on my power words, and maybe I just keep trying to say different languages or something until I find like one.
Find a powerful one. Nice.
Yeah. So
Morningstar power word. Get well soon.
it will soon. Yeah, it doesn't kill you immediately. It's
Yeah.
set off where it's like a certain time limit, and then
You
you'll
can
get.
craft yourself a greeting card that when you open it just glares it
Ooh.
aggressively at someone and heals them.
That would be good to give everybody for when we're out adventuring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
All right.
see how many 2 ticks. Okay,
Nice.
let me count. Make sure I put the right amount of stuff on my clock. Though 1, 2. I didn't. Okay, now I did. All right, so 2 ticks.
Yeah. I
Great.
guess
Now I just have 10 to go to be able to heal everybody.
singing greeting cards.
Yes. I remember those.
Instead of power words, you do a bard and it's a power song or a power ballad.
Power ballad.
We will bring bards to this game.
It's just a matter of time, I'm sure. We actually did consider them at the very beginning, but we were like, nah, not witchy enough. Not to
Well,
be
there are
a
like
base
siren
grimoire.
songstress type.
That would be good, yeah.
I mean, in theory, you could make any of your casters a bard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Just a casting
That's
style.
the casting style, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, don't give me any ideas. I was thinking of making an old man character anyway.
Does anybody else have any big long-term projects that other people can help with?
So I finished up mine, and I really don't know what to spend my downtime on. I want to train things, but I might have to do it off camera, just because I don't know what I would put it into. There's nothing I'm particularly striving for right now.
Gotcha.
And training isn't exactly the most riveting downtime.
I like it to put me over the top when I'm real close to a yeah, but
So you don't get stuck edging for a while.
and of course any of the greater rituals that you all know you could make use of for a downtime activity on the coven sheet.
Really.
I think you have all the training upgrades too, so any of the trainings you'd get 2 XP on instead of 1.
I don't think we have every grimoire.
No, a workshop?
Yeah.
No.
But I have mine, so I could train that.
Yeah, that's right. How's everybody doing on Fey bargains? Anybody near a contract?
I think
No.
I still have a contract that we haven't taken care of yet.
Okay. Maybe that Kappa will come back to visit you again soon, since he vanished out of the sewer that you met him in before.
Yep. I'm gonna train Prowess and Insight for my downtime actions.
Okay.
I've had a bunch of XP in both of those, and I just haven't finished them off for a while.
I'm going to train Prowess as well for the first time ever. And
What?
my grimoire, so that gets me an extra ability.
What does Prowess
Nice.
training for Elise look like?
Well, she's... I'm not sure. Maybe just lifting shopping bags or something like that.
They have to be like the exact right brands, though.
Attempting to run in heels.
She's just trying different heels, square heels, stilettos, whichever works best.
Oh no, she only ever wears stilettos, darling.
I would only imagine.
Well, Hollis lost her broom, but
Oh no,
So sad.
that's very sad.
Elise, I suppose, has gained one.
One?
I've taken Witch's Flight since my grimoire.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
What would you like to enchant for your flying item? The only requirement is that it must be large.
I'm not quite certain.
And
It can
brooms
be
are
a
a good
big
go-to.
ornate poof.
A what?
A big poof, like like an ottoman almost, but it's just ornate.
Oh,
You just sit on a
that
nice
would be
poof.
Maybe I should
great,
just
like a
fly
lazy
around
boy.
on a carpet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is it's a
Same.
very versatile power.
I think a carpet sounds fun.
Nice.
So in my city, there was an old commercial of a lady riding on a carpet through the arch, and it was literally to advertise for a carpet company, and that's just what I keep thinking of, Becky the Carpet Queen.
Struggle Princess says a fainting couch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bit too large. How am I going to carry it anyway?
I mean, it'll just float around behind you. So whenever anybody knocks you over, you just fall onto your fainting couch.
Take a permanent downside when I have to do anything stealthy.
Yeah,
because there's a
true.
giant couch following me around.
You should
Somebody-
build yourself a hideaway in the couch.
Yeah, hits you and does level 3 harm to you, and then you reach up from your fainting couch and try something curse.
Threefold.
Threefold curse, that's it.
No, I'm tempted. I do actually enjoy the idea of just floating around on a chaise. Elise will never use her feet again.
It's not like you can't just leave it behind, when you don't, when you don't want to take it into a particular building or something. All right.
It's like that line from the Mean Girls musical. This is modern feminism talking. I'll rule the world with shoes I cannot walk in.
So,
I mean, other people could do the walking.
yeah. So I think next week is going to be our final episode before the mid-season break, or mid-season whatever we end up doing. And so if we are doing something other than Nightsky Sanctum for 4 weeks, which is what we usually tend to do, then that might be something we should discuss soon. We've done Vampire the Masquerade, Victorian vampire, run by Andrea in the past. And we did Twin Pines, which was our Appalachian Children of Midnight series. I think I've heard pirates, something pirate related has been floated a number of times. I and Andrea and I both love Werewolf the Apocalypse very, very much. Although I don't know exactly how well that would make a little, four-parter. The last,
honestly, it might be better than Masquerade because with Werewolf you can just go out and fight stuff and have D&D adventures if all else fails.
true.
So
yeah.
I want to be a feral wolf.
Yeah, my last, our last werewolf game lasted 3.5 years. So, well, actually, that's not true. Our last werewolf game ended when Trump got elected because it was like, okay, this is too real now. It just feels too bad, and we were like, yeah, can't keep it up. It was very focused on the Dakota pipeline and destroying it. And then it was like, oh, fuck. Fuck everything. It was, yeah. So.
Let's have some escapist fantasy, please, and thank you.
What kind of fantasy?
Escapist.
Yeah, exactly. That was the problem. Yeah, it just hit a little too close to home. It's like, I'm doing everything in the game that I can't do in real life, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Worse than usual.
You wrote something, I think, in the Discord earlier this week about, I don't know if it was whether it was a game or a world where there was like snake ladies. Is that another like tabletop, or was that just like a world that you were explaining?
Was it me? Somebody else?
Yeah, you put a drop in because like someone started talking about snakes, and you're like, oh, this has like great like snake.
Lesby Snakes. Yeah, it's a game by Kira Magren. And it's called a Cozy Place. No, a Cozy Den. And everybody plays a lesbian snake trying to make their den as cozy as possible for the winter. I don't think it's a 4-part thing. I think it's mostly a journaling game, but it does sound awesome. But yeah, so yeah, I think they call it Lesby Snakes. Before they thought of the name A Cozy Den. But, yeah, also very good.
How wholesome. I love that idea.
Yeah, so anyway, a million different, directions we could go with that. I do think it would be neat to do werewolves, because werewolves are awesome. And
Ray also showed me another werewolf game that could be fun. You might just want to stick with Apocalypse, but I'll send that to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I love werewolves.
It does have less lore baggage.
Yeah, that's true. It can be a little weird having to bring everybody up to all the lore of vampire and werewolf and stuff like that. It's awesome, but
it's fun. But yeah, it's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Them mentions Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I do own it, as well as Advanced Lesbians and Lovers, but I don't know the system yet. So, but definitely worth taking a look at. Yeah, whenever anybody says lesbian game, that's the one I think of. But yeah. And the main thing that we need to talk about is that on Thursday we will be playing 10 Candles. It will not be a streamed game. It will be a private game on our Discord. So if anybody is interested in joining us there, all the cast members of Nightsky Sanctum will be playing. You do not have to turn on your camera. You can play however you'd like. Andrea and I will be playing on camera because it's 10 Candles, and we're going to have to be lighting candles and rolling dice and things like that. So we'll be on camera, but and I think a few of the people in our Discord have said they want to be on camera, so that's exciting. So that's going to be this Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. But let us quickly go around the room again and let everyone know where they can find you on social media or elsewhere until next week. Let's start with Morningstar.
Well, if you're looking to find me on social media until next week, you can do that on Twitter or Instagram at _Cytherian, or Facebook as the Cytherian. I might have those completely mixed up, honestly. I'm the only Cytherian around. You're not going to find another one. All the rest of them are still up at Venus.
Good.
So, if you want to see my beautiful face again and again throughout the week, not just on Tuesdays, I would highly recommend it. My editor works incredibly hard, and they're very pretty as well.
Megan?
He's got to keep sweet talking me, so I'll make sure he doesn't have like a silly mustache. I did all the black things on teeth and everything. But yeah, I'm the editor and photographer for all the Morningstar content. I know I'm behind on my personal links. I apologize. I shouldn't have said anything until there was content up. But that's just how the rock rolls. But there will be something. I've got some stuff that's like partially finished, as well as some things that are patrons get priority for behind the scenes content. So anything that comes out first, patrons are going to get that, and it'll end up on that channel. But if you want to see any of the content we do, again, like Morningstar said, Friday is our post day. We try to have occasional things throughout the week, and any of the previously mentioned links, you can go there until I finally get my button gear and I get that other page set up. So it's coming. It's coming.
All right. Josie?
Hi, I'm Josie. You can also hear me on City That Never Dies, a 1920s inspired Blades in the Dark podcast. You can find that on Twitter at clever_corvids, because that's the network it's on. Also on that network, I'm running a Demon the Fallen Forged in the Dark hack called Demon Love and Hellfire, which you can find on Twitter at love_hellfire. The most recent episode was supposed to come out today, but it's late, so it'll come out tomorrow. And then you can find me personally on Twitter at DragonGirlJosie.
Awesome. Andrea?
Yeah, I'm Andrea. You can find me on Twitter at Andrea T. Moore. You can find me on Instagram at Menagerie Nest, and you can find me here on Fridays playing Legend of Zelda, which has been a super fun experience, and there's only been a few meltdowns. So, yeah.
Super fun and moderately frustrating. And Azalman?
Oop. And yeah, you can find me at Azalwyn pretty much everywhere. Unless it's TikTok, then it's under Goddess Azalwyn. So if you're in for inconsistent, chaotic, creative goodness, then I am definitely the one to sign up for.
Awesome. And Andrea and I are the co-authors of Children of Midnight Coven. It is currently available as a quick start for free. So that is at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. We run a Patreon, and Andrea puts out new factions on a fairly regular basis that expand the world of Children of Midnight outside of the borders of Manhattan. We have, 4 currently? And she has ideas for like a dozen more. Yeah, at least, but like named ideas. But yeah, and we do awesome stuff on our Patreon, like the 10 Candles game that is happening this Thursday with our patrons, and we're so excited about that. 10 Candles is just about one of our favorite games in the whole world. And so we're excited to see you all then. I can't think of anything else except thank you so much, Josie, for being on our stream. It was such a good time.
Thank you for having me.
And as I was
pleasure.
saying before we started, if it wasn't for Ree and Josie and the other members of the Magpies, this game would not exist, because they helped us become better game masters and better players by following their example. So thank you
You're welcome.
for your contribution to that. And as we have pretty much said to everybody that's been a guest star on here, you are absolutely welcome to come back anytime. We would love to have you. And I thought there was something else, but now I can't think of it. So, the problems that come with being a very, very old man, like Sauron and Gandalf put together. That's me.
Skeleton GM.
Yeah. I was gonna say this week was a super weird session. It doesn't usually run quite like this, but I had all these weird lore ideas pop up in my head, like literally overnight last night, and I was like, I've got to get this weird background lore for the Nightsky Sanctum Coven area and island out of my head, otherwise it's gonna make me go insane. So that happened this week, and so it was a kind of weird undertaking. It didn't really have the feel of a normal undertaking, but I hope it was still fun anyway, because otherwise I will die. Anyway, thank you all so much, and we'll see most of you again Thursday, and some of you on Friday, and otherwise have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Night.